was a tax, what do you call it? Tax thingy.
When you say they, you're saying that the viewers...
Babes. No, Sport Babes, the company who employed me.
The company?
Yeah.
Paid your agent directly instead of you directly?
Yeah, they've been paying me. All of a sudden, without my permission, they said, oh, something to do with... Because he's a limited company, we'll pay it to him. Anyway, he never paid me. Right? So then I had this other company... I think it was, what was it, with Babe World or Babe Watch or one of those. Anyway, I started working with them and they were a few weeks late to pay me as well. And I thought, I need to pay my rent. I can't do it like this. So around that time, webcam had kind of started to become like quite a popular thing. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a go at this. And then I kind of realised quite quickly, hang on, I'm sat in my own lounge doing what the hell I want. I don't have to travel, I don't have to commute. I could just speak to these people via a webcam. If I don't like them, I can block them or kick them out the room if they're idiots. And, you can earn more probably in 2 hours than I would in a whole evening. So I started doing that. So over time, you kind of you get to know your regulars and they come back at the same time and they go, oh yeah, we played last week, didn't we? So this week, what I thought we could do, or you might tell them to do something as well. So I started growing as a mistress online first, really, before I did real time. And then I had Jay, he was just like so kinky and deviant. You could just ask him to do anything and he'd be like, yeah, I'll do that. me.
So are you saying you're growing as a webcam mistress?
Yeah.
This is all just online, not meeting people?
Yeah, so it was just online to start.
And Jay got involved.
Gotcha.
And he would get involved, so I'd do stuff to him sometimes. So we'd like to see you spank someone. So you'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. So
you'd spank Jay?
I'd spank him, bent over getting a spanking. So it kind of...
Just with your hand or with instruments?
Well, yeah, to start with it was a hand, then I think a hairbrush.
An old slipper?
Yeah. Slippers are quite good.
There we go.
I love it.
Do you know these little sea shoes? The little sea shoes.
Sea shoes?
Yeah, they're like little rubber-soled shoes.
Oh, that you wear in the
those
sea.
are brilliant for spanking.
What are sea shoes?
Yeah,
like pumps?
Little rubber pumps you wear in the sea or in the swimming pool.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't stand on the rocks.
Right. You got any of those, James?
Got any sea shoes? Oh, brilliant. What was your favourite instrument, bar sea shoes?
What to hit Jay with?
To pummel his
backside with?
Backside.
Oh, well, we went down to B&Q actually. Yeah.
Oh, not proper.
Was that your idea or his?
Yeah, my idea. Reason being, and this is a great tip to anyone out there wanting to get into it or even just have some fun at home. This stuff is really, really expensive. And at the time, I was on a really tight budget. So I thought we'd just pop down to B&Q, look at the home supplies, and as you do on a Sunday afternoon. Yes. Yeah. So I think I found some like garden bamboo canes out there, for a cane. We'll start with some of those. I bought some length of chain, some rope, some of those little clips as well. And we just found like pretty much everything in there. So, any household store, you can find loads of stuff. Like those brushes that you use for your back? Those are quite good as well.
For what?
For like exfoliating your skin and stuff.
For using for what?
Well, just for kind of like scraping a little bit and the back for spanking. So I just had all this weird household stuff that I'd use in the beginning. And then when I started to see slaves, it was because I got to know them really well and I felt comfortable enough to meet them in the flesh. And then they started buying me bits of equipment then. So I had started to build up the serious kit, which was good.
Yeah. Do you have quite a big kit?
Yes.
Or do you have quite a big kit?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, most of it's in my mum's garage.
So your mum knows, and she does.
She's
absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think she was a bit shocked last week though. I showed her this. I've got this new CBT ball press, and
slow down. CBT ball press.
Done my research. Cock ball torture.
That's it. CBT? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was thinking of cognitive behavioural therapy. What did you say? What? Cock ball torture.
Cock and ball torture.
Cock and ball torture. That's a genre, is it?
A genre.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's huge.
It's really popular.
So a CBT ball press.
Yeah.
So that's something that crushes balls.
It does.
Like
you pop it all through. You
Through what?
Close. Well, it's kind of like this perspex thing. It's like you've got two squares, and then there's a screw that goes through it, and you can tighten it up once it's in.
It's like a what's it called?
A vice.
Vice.
Yeah, exactly
So
that.
you just pop it on
Like a clear, but you can see through it. A see-through vice.
Yes, you can see through it. And then it's got a little button on the front. If you press the button, it starts sending an electric current through the balls then. So you can have some, real fun with it. Because 1 minute they're like, yeah, it's fine. And the next minute they go, I'm sorry, mistress, I'm sorry.
How tight do the...
Jen's gone.
How tight does the vice go around the balls?
Yeah, it goes pretty tight. It's like pancake is the word I'd use probably.
A pancake?
Pancake, yeah.
Come on!
How flat? So like that?
Probably about that flat, yeah.
You pancake someone's balls?
Yeah.
Yes.
But sometimes they...
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, they love it, yeah.
They love it.
Sometimes the balls
Doesn't that
just
cause
go
intense
back
pain?
up.
Because balls... I mean, if you're like...
Yeah.
If someone hits you in the balls, it's like you've been stabbed in the belly. You just
In the
double over.
belly.
You
So is that where the pain comes from?
A burning sensation rises and you just feel
Doesn't it make you feel sick?
Yeah, you double over and you feel sick.
That sounds horrible.
It just rises and you're like, and
Yeah.
it lasts for ages.
That's it.
So what's up with these people? Are they wired differently?
I think so.
They like that.
Yeah.
They do?
I think they just read the pain as pleasure.
Is it a lot of people in power?
Often, yeah. I think people like CEOs will be attracted to it, but then not as much these days. It used to be all people in power, and now there's such a, I think since 50 Shades as well, that's had a massive impact, and people are brainwashed so easily. They say it's conspiracy, don't they? But it's, you know a lot about this, don't you? It's not conspiracy. People get brainwashed by what they see on the television.
Of course,
gets in
yeah.
ways, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
So someone who's getting his balls pancaked, are they just enjoying the pain, or is there a sexual arousal component?
Oh, yeah. I think the pain is sexual. The fact that it hurts is getting them off for whatever reason.
Right.
What would you wear during these appointments?
Well, I'm quite into my PVC and corsets because I don't kind of like being, collars up here and too stiff and formal because I like to move around a lot. But I like to be a little bit disciplinarian. So I kind of wear like a steel bone corset with PVC and like sometimes a little kind of meshy top underneath and a little PVC skirt. Course has got to be stocking, suspenders and heels or boots, really. So,
How did
I
you...
love it.
We're on the story of your first slave showing up out the blue.
Yeah.
How did that first slave come about then? What was the story of that person?
I think we'd played online a little bit. I can't really remember now, but the thing that I do remember, he worked for one of these government ones where they're not supposed to tell you what they do. I don't know if that was true or if it was something like that. Yeah. So the thing is that when he first turned up, I got my days wrong because it was just after Christmas. And this was when I was living down in Surrey. So I was probably still in my 20s, fairly irresponsible and stuff. And we'd just been partying a little bit and drinking. And then I thought, well, I've got my booking tomorrow, so it's fine. I'll have a good rest tonight. So when this guy turns up at the door, I'm in my dressing gown, looking like crap with my hair all over the place. And I'm like, hello? As if it's the postman or something to the door. And he's like, hello, Mistress Cass. And I'm like, who's this dude? I'm not expecting anyone today. And I must have looked blank because he said, I'm your sub so-and-so from, the website. And I'm like, you're meant to be here on the 28th, aren't you? Yeah, it's the 28th, mistress. So I'm like, oh shit. What do I? So I just flipped into roll then and thought, let's just roll with this. So,
and you just slid right into
it.
Well,
you've taken me by surprise a little bit. Why don't you go and wait down the road in the cafe while I get ready? And so I thought this guy's just going to tell me to F off because, he just turned up. I'm going to stay. I don't look my best. And so
you can just instantly switch into your role?
I think under pressure especially, yeah. And I was under pressure in that moment and it just come to me to do that. And
you're such a nice, sweet person. And then I look at you now.
And you're a bitch.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, I just flipped into the role and he just turned around and he was like, oh, sorry, mistress, of course, yes. Take however long you need and just call me when you're ready. So he went off to the cafe and I'm like, oh, thank God I got away with that one, because he could have so easily gone the other way and him gone, well, this isn't professional. I was expecting you to be ready. I'm in a hurry. But no, he was the sweetest guy. He was so lovely. And I think it helped that we'd sort of been on cam a little bit as well.
And what did he want?
So he had... I feel really bad telling you. Like, he had a really, really tiny little penis. So
I was not expecting that.
What I really admire, though, he'd made his really tiny little penis into a fetish. So he liked to be humiliated. He liked to say, oh, you've got the most disgusting, useless little tiny dick, stuff like that. And he liked being hit on the willy as well, and hit on the arse with canes. Caned on the willy and the arse, and just humiliated, really.
What level of pain do you use on a caning like that? Do you just find a limit with someone? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person, but I mean, if it's someone new to me, I always hold back. And the problem I actually have slayers going, you don't really cane that hard. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
Is it a stress relief?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely an element of that, but I'm always holding back because I think, when you're in that role where you're meant to be domination is basically about consent, isn't it? It's about one person is consenting to hand that power over to you. So it'd be a massive abuse of power to just do what you wanted and take it too far. So did
you have a safe word?
Yeah, there's always a safe word, yeah.
What's the safe word?
Yeah, it depends. A lot of people use red. Sometimes you'll go, what do you want the safe word to be? Someone will go, a haddock. Okay, fine. So, yeah.
Wow.
So what did you do? Did you dress him up? I'm imagining this is a long session.
Yeah.
Do you build up to caning his penis? Is he wearing something silly or what?
Silly? What, like a clown costume? Have you had that?
Well, yeah, not the clowns, no. Some of them do like getting into costumes, like little panties, stockings, suspenders. Some of them like some like the sexy stuff, and some of them like the stuff that makes them feel stupid, like big pink frilly dresses, big bloomers down to the knees. But I don't think we even did any of that. It was just, I think I had him crawling around the floor, like oinking like a pig, being different barnyard animals to entertain me, and just crawling around and doing various different things. So, yeah, I don't think... but the thing I remember, he kept saying to me, you want me to call him Fatty? And I struggled with that.
Was he quite a big guy?
He was massive, but I can't call him Fatty. That's just too mean, isn't it? So I'm sure some other girls would have loved that. But, yeah. So he was my first client. He's really sweet.
And what kind of money does he pay for a session like that?
Do you know, I can't remember what I was charging back then. But, yeah, probably around $150. I think it might have even been slightly less because I was new.
Taking a break from the S&M then.
Yeah.
You had one of the most beautiful moments in your life when your cat gave birth.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I had 2 cats give birth on me. And the first litter, only 2 survived because she died and we had to hand rear them. So we're feeding them So I've got my little tab stick now and she's 14 and she sleeps on my head at night. She wraps her little claws in my hair. She's such a baby. My other cat was called Seven. I named her after Star Trek. What was her name? Seven. She was like an android. Did you ever see it? No. So we just got this cat, and before we had a chance to kind of get her spayed or anything, we realised she was pregnant. So she was getting close. In fact, I think that's why. I think that might have been why the bed was in the lounge, maybe, because I was worried I wanted to keep an eye on her. And just one night, she was acting all strange. So I got this cardboard box out, put loads of blankets in it to give her a little, because they want a nest, don't they? Give her a little nest in place. So she just takes one look at the box and goes, nah, not happening. She jumps into my bed and then she just starts giving birth on my bed, next to me. So I was just like, wow. So I'm partly horrified, partly this is amazing. And all these little baby kittens. I don't know, have you ever seen baby kittens?
No.
It's the weirdest thing. They come out in this little kind of
sack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little sack. So they're all slimy and slippery. And as fast as they're coming out and she's licking all the stuff away so they can breathe and get out, another one's coming out. And there must have been like 8 of them. So this one kitten she's trying to just like get rid of, and at one point like she just abandons him. So I thought, I know I can't touch him because it will get my scent on him, and then she won't want him. So I went and got cotton buds and just pulled the sack away from his face, and I just saw him take his little first breath and go like that. Bless him, peeled it all away. But then because he was the runt of the litter, she tried to pick him up and take him outside, and I'm like, nah, not having it, no. So I locked the cat flap, and then I just picked him up with a glove again, so I'm not touching him, and I rubbed him on all of the kittens, and then on her, and then eventually, thank God, she accepted him.
Wow.
So it totally worked, but I was just like, God, I hope this works. This poor little thing. He was like this big, just looked like a mouse.
Were you there on your own?
So cute. Well, my boyfriend was there, but yeah, I was on my own.
You managed to get arrested.
I don't know why I laugh when you say that.
Yeah, I was very silly. Very silly. So I went to a wedding, and I think I've been up like 2 nights following Jay around, trying to look after it. No excuse for getting arrested. I'm not trying to do that at all. I was very tired, drank too much, and I think there was a case of mistaken identity, which is what kicked it all off, because me and my friends were dancing, and this big bouncer comes up to me and says, "You've got to leave." And I'm like, "Why?" "Because you're taking your top off." And I thought he was joking to start with. "What do you mean I'm taking my top off?" I was wearing a dress anyway, so that's impossible for one. No, you've got to leave. So anyway, we left the club, and we're like, oh, well, we'll just go back, to her house for a drink. Anyway, I started having a bit of hassle at the cloakroom, and they wouldn't give me my bag back for some reason. I said, look, well, the thing is, I'm 150 miles from home. I need my bag. I need this, that. It's got my phone, my money. I can't get home. So I need it. Anyway, so I went outside. This then went on with the main doorman. So just to put things into context, the first lad that brought me downstairs was a black fella. And then the guy outside was a white fella. And this one was really kind of snooty with me, this white guy. He was just not very nice at all. So I tried to explain my situation. He was going, well, you're just going to have to come back Monday. So things started to get a little bit heated. Then at one point I held onto the rope for a minute, and I just fell over backwards, took the rope with me because I was quite drunk. And I'm like, oops, sorry. And that was it then. Their tone changed because they could see I was quite drunk. They were like, you are scum, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, I managed to get my bag back. And I cannot remember for the life of me what he said, but I think it was along the lines of, F off, you effing whore. So I just, the red mist came down. What did you say? So I just slapped him and walked off. Right, so we're halfway up the road, and then suddenly I get dragged back by the hair, smack into the ground. So I don't know, it feels like 2 blokes have grabbed me. I start fighting back. They're pulling me up, going, get up. I'm going, you're hurting me, get off me. And there had been loads of people laughing outside the club. So I thought, maybe 2 revellers are seeing something happen, and they're trying to have a bit of, So anyway, did that bit one of them. I was like, oh, it's disgusting. And then in the end, I realised these guys were bloody bouncers. Oh, shit. So anyway, they called the police. The police turned up, put me in handcuffs behind my back. I was in the car, got to the station, and I just realised at one point I'm sat in this police station. I've got this little black dress on. And then, I'm feeling a bit vulnerable. I've got my handcuffs on, hands behind my back. There's this really leery guy, and he just wants to have a fight with everything. He's I think there's some lockers in the corner. He's having a go at them, wanting to scrap those as well. Anything. And so, I think the policewoman sort of clocked that and moved me away. So they kind of put me in cells for the night. But it's the weirdest thing, because you ask for water and they ask you to stand back, don't they, as if you're going to throw acid in their face or something, or I don't know what they think, but it's so bizarre. I don't know how you manage to do You know, how long was it?
6 years.
Six
Yeah.
years. I was in there one night, and the next day, I came out. I felt like, you know, those hostage films where they're like,
so you were in your
coming out
last
from-
night's clothing.
Yeah, that's it. And you see the light, and you're like this blinking. I felt like that. God knows how you did 6 years.
Oh, you just adapt. You
Yeah.
get used to it.
Good old walk of shame.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So were there any charges brought against that?
There was, yeah. I got a charge for the slap because they kept saying it was a punch, basically. And they tried to add on racist charges afterwards as well, which I went, no, that's why I went Crown. I went, I'm not having that, that's not fair. I confessed to what I did, but please don't add charges. That's why I went to Crown Court. Apparently, because I did break the rope, is criminal damage, so I got charged with that as well. The other charge of ABH was dropped, well, hung jury anyway. So yeah, there was a few. But when I was in court, basically, the judge was just shaking his head like this, and then he said to me, Miss B, could you just come and stand up here a minute, please? I just want to check that you can see it. What do you call it? The thing, the little box you stand at. Do you remember? I can't remember
In
the
the
name of it.
courtroom?
Yeah. It's like a desky thing, isn't it?
What is that called,
Yeah, what's
James?
it called?
Where you stand in the courtroom?
An altar.
There's a word for it, isn't
Something
there?
like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The dock. The
Dock,
dock.
that's it, yeah.
How would you not know that?
They don't use that in America. There's something else in America.
I
Yeah.
should have known that.
yeah.
But
Oh, your arrests.
Yeah, so he said to me, can you come and stand at the docks? I just want to make sure you can see over it. How tall are you again? I said 4'10". He was like, right. So I just got the whole feeling he was like, you know, that they'd taken it a bit too far, because they'd sort of pushed for it. They couldn't back down then.
That's what I was thinking. It was frivolous.
Yeah.
Waste of money, waste of resources.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
Go
yeah.
and
It could
grab a rapist instead of messing around
totally.
with you. Yeah.
And I did a really, really stupid thing. I'm not disputing that. I shouldn't have done it.
Who doesn't when they're drunk? Damage something or
Yeah, it was-
piss in
it was
public or
silly. Yeah.
yeah.
But it was a lot of a waste of public resources,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So while you were
definitely.
going through all this, what was your life like?
It was pretty nasty. It was quite traumatic, really, because my dad had had an incident where he'd sort of actually died for 13 minutes at my
What?
mum's. Yeah, so we were at the 60th birthday party. He was up on the stage doing, I think it was the night Have a Thousand Eyes by Billy Fury. So one minute he was a bit of an extrovert. So 1 minute he's up there on the stage doing all that, and I'm like, hey, go Dad. And then he's like, comes down. I think it was the excitement, made his heart just stop.
Wow.
So, and then we were waiting like 13 minutes for the ambulance people to arrive, and they come with the old defib and like that. So my neighbour went, don't look, and she put her hand over my face. So this was all, I was going up and down because I was in Birmingham, travelling down to Swindon to see my dad, then going down to Kingston to the court, because they call you back for so many different things, don't they? Just back, forth. I just wanted it over and done with, to be honest. So yeah, it wasn't the best time. I really learnt my lesson not to slap bouncers, basically, or break ropes, even if accidentally.
And you ended up on antidepressants around this time.
Yeah, I did. Well, we'd sort of been taking them anyway, like for a while, but it got worse. So I went back and said, what else can you do? Can you change these? Can I have some therapy or something? And I just think they never really worked for me, antidepressants. I think it's all something that's in the mind. And well, maybe they work for other people, I don't know. But for me, I had to change myself and what was inside of me rather than just relying on antidepressants and things.
A lot of people just use them to mask root causes.
Totally.
But if you address the root causes, then hopefully you won't need them. I think there's just a massive
Yeah, it's
overprescription because there's so much money being made.
Definitely. Big pharma are cashing in, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just resolving those traumas and rather than doing the whole blame game of like, oh, well, this happened to me when you think, okay, well, that did happen then, and I was treated like that then, but at some point I've got to take responsibility and stop being a victim and go, well, okay, that affected me that way then, but now it's up to me to change who I am and get on with my life. So I think that was kind of like, back then I was just trying to do what you said and mask the problem with antidepressants. So I was too immature to realise that there were other options.
Yeah, we've all done it.
A word from our sponsor, Manscaped. This holiday season, I'm giving thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Do I tell my extended family that I have the Performance Package 4.0 from the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming? Not to mention, it includes the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer to tame my bush and score brownie points with the in-laws. Gift yourself Manscaped, or the man in your life who needs it. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with 20% off, plus free shipping with the code Shaun, SHAUN 20 at manscaped.com. For years I've been using other shavers on my man parts, and those little beard trimmers tend to nick my skin and cause bleeding. Manscaped has remedied all of that. For the gifters out there, Manscaped, to seal the deal with 2 free gifts from in their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Gifting Manscaped is the ultimate hack to become the family favourite. Manscaped has been busy and just launched their refined body wash and 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner. Both feature the Manscaped signature scent and will help unlock your confidence this year. Your boys and body will be oh so fresh and so clean when you start off your self-care routine with the ultimate body wash, shampoo and conditioner. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SHAUN20, SHAUN 20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code SHAUN20 at manscaped.com. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
So you suffered a break-in?
We did, yeah. So Jay had gone out for the day. We had three, this is in James Tanner Street, we had 3 stories. So I was on the top floor doing a webcam show with a slave. So God knows. Like,
when you say doing a webcam show of a slave, slave on the other end or slave in the room?
Oh, so yeah, he was on the other end.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
So,
because you can't whip them through the computer.
No, but you can make them do things to themselves and humiliate
pinch your nipples,
themselves and
things like
stuff.
that.
So I think he,
Pancake your balls.
Totally. I think he was hitting himself on the wheel. Yeah.
Rhubarb!
Just I think he was writing. I got him to get like a marker pen as well. He was writing
Twat.
slut, twat, things like that across his body, and putting his wife's lipstick on while she was out. Like,
brilliant.
What about his wife's clothes? Were you making him wear his wife's?
Sometimes they do, yeah. They're like, I've just snuck into her knicker drawer. Which one shall I wear? And I'm like, this is so bad.
Did you pick them? Oh, yeah, the pink ones.
Yeah.
And then did they just put them back at the end of the session?
That's the thing, yeah. Like there was one guy, and he.
Not to be crude, but did he ejaculate on it?
This is it, yeah. He had his little happy ending, and then he just put them back, and I'm like, you do get at some point she's going to go to the knicker drawer and be like,
why is your cum on my pants?
Exactly. Yeah, what the fuck is this? You know? It's Barney. So he probably got busted
Nice
for
fella.
that, I'm sure. Yeah.
So you were doing a webcam with a slave.
Yeah.
And a break-in occurred.
Yep. So I'm dressed in, I can't remember what I'm dressed in, but it's going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be like PVC or fishnet or whatever. So I just quickly threw some clothes on, and I'm sure I'm imagining this. I'm sure, there's no one down there. It's just my imagination. So I've been a bit stressed and stuff. And I had about, how many cats did I have? I had about 6 cats at the time, right? I don't know if I mentioned Joe was a massive hoarder. Did I mention that?
Before,
he would like get things back out the bin. So you'd chuck some stockings away or a broken radio and it'd come straight back out. He'd hoard it. Anyway, so he had all this shit in his study on the 2nd floor below me. So this guy came in for the window and I heard the rustling as he was falling all over this piles of like cutlery and plates and just rubbish that Jade left there. So that was the first thing I heard. I thought, it's just the cats. And then I heard the cats just bolt downstairs in different directions. I'm like, yeah, something's not quite right here. So I just thought, I'm probably being paranoid. I'll just grab something just in case. So I looked around my room. Whips, no. Canes, no. Oh, I know. I had this big like pair of gold platform shoes with a heel on it like this and about this thick. So I just picked that up and I just crept slowly to the top of the stairs, and there's this like guy in a grey hoodie just like staring back at me like this, like like that. And I'm like, we both just froze for a moment and just stared at each other like in shock. And then I'm like, get out of my house! And it was one of those situations that could have gone like either way.
And what did he do?
Luckily, he turned around and legged it. I chased him. I went,
chased him with a gold stiletto.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah,
definitely put that one in the trailer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, he ran out the house, and then I thought, well, I've gone this far now, let's carry it on. I went, and don't come back again. Like, looking round, so I'm hard now. White D was sat there as well.
So had he got like, he just entered the door or he broke in? Or?
No, it was, he'd come up the back way and there was a study. So you go into the house, like from the back door. So you'd come in through the kitchen into like this sort of, because there was 2 lounges broken into 2. There was like a lounge here, up the stairs, and there was a front room and a study. So we'd have come in, yeah, no, hang on, he didn't come in through the back, did he? He would have come in through the study window, I think, because it was left open. So he must have somehow climbed up the draining pipe onto the thingy and through the window, fell over all this like week's
shit.
worth of, which did me a favour, ironically, in the end. And yeah, just wished he'd never broken in properly.
You didn't know him then?
I don't think so, no. I couldn't
he wasn't
really
a client
see.
or...
Not to my knowledge, no.
No. Oh, good.
No, he actually looked like one of the neighbours, but I'm sure it couldn't have been because they just weren't like that.
No.
So Jay just got crazy doing crocodile death rows in the bath.
Yeah.
Falling asleep with his face in his dinner. Oh my goodness. He spashed out, knocked his head into the B-day.
Yeah, we had his mum there for a week. She said she was going to come and help me sort him out because I said he's off the rails. And then I thought, oh, thank God, finally getting some help with this because he's taking too many drugs and stuff. So, and then I've made us dinner. His mum sat there. And all of a sudden, he's just like this, like mashed potato in his face. And then his mum goes, oh dear, I do think he's rather a little bit tired, isn't he? And I'm like, is she seeing what I'm seeing? Is she living in the land of delusion? Or...
What was his upbringing like?
I don't really know. I know his dad, like, left his mum for their secondary school teacher. It was quite a religious upbringing. I don't think his dad was solidly in his life after he was 12. His mum suffered really bad depression. So, and she was always having kind of breakdowns and stuff as well. So I don't think he had the easiest of upbringings. I think he had quite, like, probably financially not too bad, but probably a little bit unstable. Right. So...
What about the night he was running around in the back garden with your belongings?
Yeah.
What items did he have?
He'd just hoard everything. I'd go for something, it'd be gone, and it would either be in the garage or he'd be wearing it.
Can I read this?
Go on.
Then he would be running around the back garden, high as a kite, with the lead to a butt plug trailing behind him.
It's quite funny in hindsight if you imagine this guy, and he wasn't that slim by this point either, so I won't put that there. He wasn't that slim by this point. He had like a bit of belly on him and stuff. So he had like these... Am I allowed to move?
Yeah, totally.
He had these fishnet tights that he'd managed to get on somehow, but he didn't just like pull them up to that. He pulled them right up to here, like all the way up, you know, like with the old-fashioned underpants.
Simon Cowell.
That's it. And then nothing on underneath. So that is not really an attractive sight, isn't it? You don't want to see through fishnets. It's all dangling and swinging away in the breeze, and then there's just this lead coming down and a little remote control pack with a little button where you can make it go faster or slower.
What, the vibrations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this isn't even a weekend.
No, it's a Monday evening.
Yeah. And by this point, I'm so desensitised. I just open the door. Oh, Jay's at it again. Just close the door.
Leave him do it.
Just leave him do it. I've just washed my hands of the whole ordeal by this point.
He was spiking your food and drinks.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I didn't really realise, I always thought he was helping me because he'd go, have a paracetamol, have this. Oh, you look a bit, you're not yourself today. You've been really snappy. You're being really irritable with me. Have this, have an extra antidepressant. So and then when we went round to my friend Vicky's, like apparently he was putting stuff in my food, and she was like, you can't do that. That's you're spiking her. And he's like, no, it's fine. It keeps her calm. It keeps her happy. So, yeah, but I think in his head, he was so deluded, he thought he was doing something that was good for me. I don't think it was even Machiavellian. He was just so screwed up in the brain. That's how he saw it and justified it to himself. So I think that's why it was so harder for me to see clearly what was going on, because often I'd had whatever without even knowing it, like extra antidepressants and things. So
just when you think things are getting really weird, viewer, this is where a character called Latex Trooper enters the story.
I read this morning and honestly my mind was like, right. Latex Trooper.
Latex was awesome. He was such a fun guy.
How did you meet Latex? What was his story?
So in the beginning, he used to book me to just like beat him up really badly. He had a massive, massive fetish for loads of pain. Then he got into...
When you say beat him up badly, could you describe the actual act? You mean like punch him in the face?
No.
Kick him in the balls?
No. So it started off with a bit of like spanking.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably the first session was probably quite mild. And then they get a bit addicted sometimes and they're like, oh, what can I try next? So... So the next time it was kind of like he went, I've been looking on Love Honey at all these different things. So we ordered this big box of things, and the point of the session was just work our way through them. I think he bought some spanking paddles, some whips, some canes. And I was like, in the beginning I was quite gentle. And I think this guy can't take this. I mean, this guy can take a lot. This guy loves pain. So it got to the point where we were like, almost every week I was seeing him. Sometimes I'd do an overnight. So I'd do the caning, strap on him.
Keep him tied up all night?
No, I didn't. No, I made him sleep downstairs and I had his bed.
On the floor?
Yeah, on the sofa. Well, I let him sleep on the sofa.
Oh, that's kind of...
Yeah, I know it was quite sweet of me to let him actually have a sofa instead of a floor. But,
How did you get the name Latex Trooper then?
So he wanted to have a...
What a name!
He wanted to have like a pseudonym. Right, and we had been watching like a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff. So I said, Stormtrooper's really good. What about something along the lines of Storm or Trooper, but with maybe a bit double-barreledy? And then we just come up with put latex in front of Trooper. But yeah, he was awesome.
So he moved in, did he?
He did. So after a while...
With you and Jay?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What were they like together?
To start with, it was brilliant.
Yeah?
Because like...
buddies.
Yeah, like he was really geeky and a massive film buff, and into computers and stuff. So I would like play computer games with him, watch movies. Like Jay was happy to be left to his own devices, so it was great for him because I wasn't going, what are you doing now? Stop doing that! Get that butt plug out! Take my shirts off! Yeah, so it was good for him because he got to be cut a little bit of slack. I had a bit of like normal company. Normal. Kind of normal. Yeah, so it started off really, really well. And then like I'd use him for filming and stuff as well. But then towards the end, they kind of started falling out.
When you say using for filming, so earlier you said how Jay would come in and spank him if it was requested by somebody.
Yeah.
So does Latex Trooper come in and participate in things on webcam?
Yeah, he was like massively submissive, so he'd always like want to be a slave. And
how old was he?
Younger than me, so God, how old was he? In his 20s at the time. Late 20s, so it's about 28, something like that.
Did you have to pull Jay and Latex Trooper in at the same time to do anything?
Yes, this is it, yes. Yeah, so after...
Charles is going to like that one.
What was that then?
So basically, I said to Jay, do you know, I don't think you're pulling your weight here. It's about time you had a little bit of hanky-panky with him while I watch, isn't it? And he said, oh, okay then. I wasn't expecting that. So,
On camera.
yeah. So the plan was to make...
Was that his first experience with another man?
We said it was. It was a bit of a natural,
So what happened?
So I'm in a strap. I'm in like lingerie and a strap on, like with whip in the hand, being the mistress. Latex Troopers on the bed, and like this is I'll just set the scene. Right, we're in
That just sets you off every time you hear his name. I actually laughed out loud when I read this morning. I was going through it, flicking it through on my phone. I was like,
yeah,
no, that can't be real.
it's all real. Yeah.
So you've got the strap on.
Yeah.
Latex is on the bed.
Yeah. So we've got this pink plastic sheet on the bed in case of spillages. So Jay's put on this wind machine, right? Because he gets a bit hot and sweaty. Right. The whole of the like pink sheet is just going up in the air. Latex Trooper's just like having this wank marathon.
Is he naked then?
He's naked.
And is Jay naked?
Jay's naked.
Not got anything unusual on.
Well, Jay was upstairs to start with, getting into his costume. So
What was his costume?
Yeah, to start with, we're just sort of...
Sorry, I'm crying with laughter. All right. Composure. Right.
It sounds so mad when I say it back. This is normal for me at the time. It was like normal life, you know. So yeah, he's on the bed. Jay's upstairs getting into his costume. He's just like doing this. Like, it's quite normal to start with. All mistress, spank me, all this kind of stuff. Like later on, he's like a bit glassy-eyed, and there's lots of alcohol on the go. I think I'm at the 3 glasses of wine point where I don't really care, but I'm quite happy and like can still talk and stuff. So I think I'm giving the strap on, and I'm getting an ice pop and making him like take the ice pop in his bottom whilst we're waiting for Jay. And
what? Go back. Ice pop in his bottom.
His bomb.
What, like those, you take the wrapper off?
Yeah, that's it.
So it melts?
We didn't take the wrapper off. We just left the wrapper on.
In his bomb, and it just melts in his bomb.
Yeah. Then the next minute, he's just
I had an ex who used to pop ice cubes up his bum for a party trick. It wasn't much of a party trick, but yeah.
It just melts over there. Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, I think he was quite enjoying it because it was really hot in the room. And then the next minute, he's just like still knocking one out on the bed, but sucking on this ice pop. His life depends on it. He's going got this really serious face on, and I just think maybe it's the tension because we're like waiting to see what Jay's going to do. So he comes in.
Jay's not even entered the scene yet. I can't wait to hear what Jay's dressed like.
He's gone through one of my clothing boxes, and he's got on this fishnet long sleeve top, these mesh pants with like little chains on, and then he's got this black wig. Bright red lipstick and a pair of shades.
Oh man!
So can you imagine like the love child of Ozzy Osbourne and Cher?
You must have been. It's some laughter. Did you get breathe?
It's some of the weirdest. I've heard a lot of weird shit, but this is some of the weirdest shit.
So, how did you keep a straight face during all this? Because we can't. Compose yourself.
Drink some water. Fake laughter.
Not fake.
Oh my god.
Well, we got accused of fake laughter on the tug of war one you watched.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that wasn't fake laughter.
I didn't think it was fake.
Oh yeah, everyone people comment.
What are people like? They always find something to pick on, don't
trolls.
they?
Trolls.
Yeah.
They are
they've got
alive
nothing
because of
better
us.
to do.
They breathe the oxygen they breathe. Go on.
So,
What happens next?
Jay walks in.
Yeah.
Jay's dressed in a knife.
Yeah, he's just walking in, and the hair's like all out here, like he's tried to make himself a bit rock chick or something. Holding your nose.
Does that work?
It's not
Yeah, so it wasn't even the outfit that was the weirdest thing. It was the accent. He just adopted like this weird Quentin Crisp type accent. Like, hello. And we're like,
oh, this is beautiful.
Can you do that again?
Please. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so that was weird.
Did that
'cause
throw
we
you for
weren't-
six when
You were just like, what's this? So I thought I was going to have to sort of coax them into it. Like, have you seen American Pie?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
ooh, if you two kiss, we will.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that kind of. No. I think he's like straight in there, jumped on the bed. Said, what am I sucking then? I'm like, well, it looks like you're sucking your dick. It looks like his dick, doesn't it? So he was just straight in there. So that goes on for a little while, and I'm telling them what to sort of
Did
do
you feel
to
left
each
out
other.
at this point?
No, I'm like a little bit wind up, and I'm thinking, oh, this is quite easy. So yeah, it was an easy night for me, really.
Yeah.
And then and then at some point the camera is just left running, and all this madness is going on. And then like no one's in the screen apart from say it again, Latex Trooper, who's just knocking one out, and it's like he's got this stare, glassy eyed stare, doing this. The sheets coming up round him. And then you can hear like Jay in the background just pick up the phone and start ordering a Chinese meal. I watched it back, honestly. I just couldn't believe that we'd filmed this bit of footage. It was the weirdest
Did you put it online?
It's online, yeah.
Did it get many hits? Or?
Not as many as I thought, actually. I thought it would have sold a
Very
bit
good
more.
money.
How can
Yeah.
we view this?
I'll send you a copy.
Yes.
You weren't there filming this, were you, James?
No.
Oh my God.
That is awesome. I've gone completely off track now.
Without
Latex. That's a distraction. So,
because Latex gets kicked out of the house.
Yeah, bless him.
What was the
Why?
final straw?
Well, I didn't. What, James or Latex?
Who went first?
Latex went first.
Okay.
I didn't kick him out. I didn't actually want him to go, even though we were falling out at the time a little bit.
You and Latex?
Yeah, we were falling out only because so he kept. He started taking Latex's stuff to hoard then. And it was be in the garage, and he'd have his parents come around on a Sunday morning for a cup of tea, and there'd just be these dildos and stuff everywhere. So
Latex's parents didn't have a clue.
no, so it was a rush to kind of like try and make it as normal as possible, and so those two just were always falling out. And then sometimes he'd come home from work and his bedroom door would slam, and I'd joke, it was like having a teenager, isn't it? But I think he was just so like with the mad house. It just like it got like one day, like I was in my room webcamming with a whip. Latex wasn't in his room with a gimp mask on because he was bisexual. I don't know if you picked that up from the last story.
Yeah,
he was bi, so he was camming with male clients as well. I think like dildos and stuff. And then Jay was downstairs, probably with a butt plug, running around. And he had this thing for like nuts and bolts and screws. So he'd get a box of those and they'd be all over the floor. And why have you put those on the floor? Pick up the bolts. And so I'd end up picking them up. I'd go out the room, come back in, they'd be like everywhere again. So it was a cross between all those dildos and sex toys everywhere and just junk. So those two would kind of like fall out over like mess and things like that. So he just decided for his sanity, which was probably like the right decision for him, that he was going to get a little place on his own. So, and I was sad to see him go to Bill. We used to watch True Blood and play Raving Rabbids on the, what was it back then? Which was an Xbox or something?
Nintendo 64?
What, one of those anyway. Used to play games. So it was quite sad waving goodbye to. Yeah, and he was a good little sub as well. Yeah. With his madness.
That's something with the Heavy D story, isn't it? The Tug of War Heavy D story.
Yeah.
What was it Heavy D's name?
What was that?
Heavy D, it was Heavy D, wasn't it?
What was that?
A really bizarre character. It was a very long story, but we were just laughing our asses off.
Oh, yeah. That's up
It's
there.
in Tug of War Part 3. It's in Tug of War Part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first one I saw, wasn't it? Did you watch that one?
That was Tug of War Part 3 with me in.
That was Part 2,
I've
wasn't
seen
it?
that
The
one,
first one
fine.
with you was Part 2. That's the only one that's out there right now.
Oh, okay.
Part 3 and 4 isn't out. Yeah.
I will keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah. We're gonna have about 20 podcasts ready to come out soon. Wow. Well, you've in about 10 that have almost 10 that have ready to come out. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're getting off a sidetrack here. All right. So Latex Trooper moves out.
Yeah.
Do you keep anything going with Latex Trooper at his new location?
Yeah, I did go round. Like to start with, it was a little bit like I felt like he was going to fall out with me. And then on the last night, I'm like, oh, please don't be like this. Can we have a hug? And then he just started crying, like threw his arms around me and went, I don't really hate you. You're my friend. And so as we kept in touch, and he was quite excited to show me his new pad and stuff. And it was lovely. Yeah, so I think he was just like really happy to have a little corner of sanity in the world and get things back on track. But yeah, we kind of carried it on. And actually, we have cammed up till fairly recently. But I had to tell him to knock it on the head for a while because I think it was affecting his mental health. Right. So just some of the stuff he was asking to do was really extreme, and then he'd get upset afterwards. I said, you need to give it a break for a while.
What was he asking for?
Just things like mild stuff to start with, but then he'd write a list of 10 things, and he'd want to be forced to throw up and eat it again. And it's just going a bit too far. If you've got mental health problems, it's just going to exacerbate them, and it's not healthy to get into that mindset where he's punished himself to get high and to get that mental release, but then he's feeling the guilt. Because some people can just do fetish and BDSM and not care, and it's a release for them. And one of my slaves, he says to me, it makes me a better person. I am a better, a better this and a better that, and it mellows me out. And then other people, they just drop, and the next day they are... excuse me, they're just they hate themselves. It's that sense of shame is so enveloping and overwhelming, they can't cope, and people like that should not be doing extreme kink, I don't think.
Do you feel like because these guys are coming to you that you're saving somewhat marriages? So because imagine them having to go to their wives or partners with those sort of requests would probably end up a lot of the cases in divorce. So
I think saving marriages is a bit of a strong claim.
Therapist.
I would never like to claim to be doing that. I would say, sometimes the wives do send their husbands to me. Okay. I think that I'm going to be realistic and honest about this. I'm sure there are some married guys that probably come and get whipped that haven't told their wives as well. A lot of them want someone to talk to as well. So they've got no one that they can speak to their fetish about. So they just want to kind of be listened to. And they don't even necessarily always want to be advised. They just want to know that there's someone there that understands what they're going through.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't say saving marriages, but I would say that it does provide an outlet for certain people.
Have you ever had an angry wife approach you?
Yeah, I did once. Yeah, I had, not in person and just by text. I think she'd gone through the phone and discovered some text messages. The irony of it is a fellow hadn't even been to see me, he'd just been texting. I don't think I'd ever even booked him in or anything. She was going, well, what do you do? Do you have sex with him? No. Do you do this? No. Well, what do you do? Let's explain what I did. Well, what would he have been coming for then? Are you sure he hasn't been to see you? I don't believe you. What would he be coming for? I'm like, I don't know. He could have been coming for spanking, a pegging, bondage. Who knows?
Pancaking.
So it just got a little bit silly in the end, because I think most people just realise, it's not an issue between the provider. It's an issue between her and her husband, isn't it? That's who need to sit down and really work it out. So I think I just said in the end that you need to talk to your husband about this. It's not helping just running through this with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I think it's quite different, isn't it? If someone's got a kink, I think a lot of wives probably turn a blind eye as well. Like if they know,
they'd rather not do that.
Exactly, they don't want to do it themselves. So sometimes the husband is like, they said to his wife, "Will you do this to me?" And she's going, "Oh God, no! Go and see a dominatrix." So. I mean, it's better than them having an affair, isn't it, I suppose? So,
Exactly.
They go and get their little kink, and there's, no emotional attachment or anything. It's just purely a service. So this guy that comes, he's married, happily married, he comes and gets, 400 strokes with a cane whilst wearing rubber panties. Then he goes home.
Happy days. Have you ever had an emotional attachment with a client?
No, I've got friendships with my clients. I know a lot of people have to have that complete separation, don't they? But I've actually got some subs that I would say they've been absolutely angels to me. They've helped me through some tough times, and I would class them as friends. So one of my subs is called Sassy Steph.
Sorry?
Sassy Steph.
Sassy Steph.
Sassy Steph, yeah.
So he's a bit...
Yeah.
Sassy.
Sassy, yeah, exactly. So Sassy came to me as Dave. And, and was just so shy. And I remember being like that. I remember being so shy. I literally would have to wait for permission to speak before I'd breathe a word. And I could just see a bit of my old self in Steph. So the first time I was like, well, tell me a bit about yourself and what do you think you'd like to try today? And I think the first thing she said, well, I wouldn't mind a bit of trying a pair of knickers on and a bit of makeup. So I just put her in knickers, did her makeup. We just chatted for an hour. Just chatted about stuff while I did her makeup, and she loved it. And then from there, she just become such a confident person. One day we just went on a little shopping trip, and we walked past Mac, the makeup shop.
I love Mac.
And there were people in there having makeovers. And she went, "Oh, I've always dreamed of going in there and having a makeover." I went, "That's it, we're going in." So I dragged her in, and there was luckily the first makeup artist that came over happened to be a transsexual. So I thought, oh, this is perfect. They're going to get on like a house on fire, and she's going to feel really comfortable and relaxed and just love it. So yeah, I'd count her on my list of really good friends, people that I would just go out with socially as well and go and have a bit of lunch or something, because she's a real cool person.
So how long did you last with Jay once Latex Trooper moved out?
I can't remember exactly, but it was less than a year, because it just escalated. And I think I'd forgotten how bad he was, because one night I had Latex Trooper to bitch to. We go, "Do you know what he's done now?" And I think the other thing was just the fact that he couldn't blame all of this stuff that was happening on Latex. So for example, he'd go, "Oh no, it was him that did that. He put that stuff in the garage." Well, how come it's still piling up in there when he's not here? So I think there was talk of us at one point moving down to Bristol to be close to my family. And then his mum went, "Well, why can't you come close to our family?" It's well, because one, I'm paying all the rent and everything. And two, we've not really, to be fair, we hadn't had any support from that side of the family. So I was just no, I'm not going to do that and keep